right, welcome into Four Verts. My name is Harrison Graham, and Trey Hendrickson is an unhappy customer. Thought we'd talk about that today. Also, happy NFL schedule release day. We'll probably have a video tomorrow morning, maybe break down my 10 favorite games on the schedule. If you want that, let me know in the comments. Actually, like this video. If we get over 100 likes, I will do that video tomorrow morning. Okay, Trey Hendrickson sounding off, meeting with Bengals media after not being at the building all offseason. He says, if I sat here with 4 sacks, they'd want a pay cut and some money back. I'm not going to apologize for the rates being paid to defensive ends in the National Football League. He, of course, is unhappy that he has not gotten a contract extension and that communication has been pretty much non-existent, at least according to him, between himself, his reps, and the Bengals. Jordan Schultz added this as well, that Trey Hendrickson said that Zach Taylor, just paraphrasing this tweet here, texted Hendrickson and said that, hey, if you don't show up to mandatory minicamp, you're going to get fined, which teams have the right to do for players who are under contract, and apparently that pissed him off. And I don't really blame him. Last year he had a right for an extension, but there were 2 years left, and he put his head down and he played, and he led the league in sacks. And now with 1 year left and $16 million on it, none of it guaranteed, and the edge market exploding, he's like, I'm not doing that again. And he even went as far as saying it's personal now with Zach Taylor in the organization. So once you say that, it's kind of hard to come back from that. Now, he did say that the Myles Garrett Brown situation is proof that things can change. He could come back to the table, but I don't think he's taking a discount with Cincinnati at this point. I think that ship has completely sailed. Now, the day before he met with the media, the Bengals media, he released this statement to ESPN via Adam Schefter. He said, no communication has taken place between my camp and the organization post-draft. The offers prior to the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised last offseason if I continue to play at a high level, which, of course, he led the league in sacks. Coaches are aware of these past conversations. Rather than using collaboration to get us to a point to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution of the situation, but that's hard to do when there is no discussion and an evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals. I just think at this point they've paid Jamar Chase, they've paid T. Higgins. It's historically a cheap franchise. Like, I don't get the sense they're going to, they may not have to reset the market with Trey, but they're probably going to have to make him second highest paid edge behind Myles Garrett. I just don't think they want to do that. I'm guessing their offers are in the high 20s, low 30s. And he's saying, dude, Danielle Hunter just got 35 and a half. Like, I'm not taking 29. I think the Bengals just need to trade him. Like, it always felt like between the two receivers and Hendrickson, they were going to have to pick two and trade one, especially with the way they operate in terms of big contracts. And they made their choice. They paid their two receivers, and they kind of got backed into a corner because Higgins and Chase basically went to the organization, said it's both of us or none of us. They chose both, which I probably would too because I don't want to lose Jamar Chase. But, in a perfect world, they probably would have tagged and traded Higgins last offseason and prioritized Hendrickson and Chase really a year ago to get the contract at a more reasonable number. And now you're stuck in the situation that you are because the market has just exploded. I mean, it feels like 10 years ago when Bosa got the wild $34 million per year, 3 guys make more than him now. Crosby, Danielle Hunter, Myles Garrett. He does not have a Myles Garrett argument at $40 million per year. But if I'm Trey Hendrickson, and Danielle Hunter's a hell of a player, but he's got some injury history earlier in his career. He's not as a great run defender like Hendrickson isn't either. My reps are probably going to say, I need Danielle Hunter money. I need 35, 36 a year. Probably 36 because that's how this goes. If you're in the same tier, typically you top that player. He probably wants a 3 or 4 year deal at 36 per, and I just don't think Cincinnati's doing that. I don't think they're paying top dollar, which that is what top dollar would be. I'm guessing they've probably offered like 2 for 60. Hey, here's 30 a year, 2 for 60 million. We'll give you 55 guaranteed. Basically all of it guaranteed, and Hendrickson's probably laughing at that. So I think they're going to have to trade him. I don't think he's going to pivot. He already said he's not playing at his current contract this year, which he shouldn't, by the way. $16 million, none of it guaranteed, when his peers that are in his caliber of player are making more than double that per year and on new long-term deals. It would just be I'm not trying to be ultra pro player on everything, but like that would just, if I was advising him, I'd say do not play, do not practice until you get a new contract. Now, this is where I won't defend the player as much because Shamar Stewart, a completely unproven commodity, and Demetrius Knight Jr. Haven't even practiced, despite rookie players who haven't signed their rookie contracts yet having the ability to sign an injury waiver. We're not going to practice. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, I get it if, you and your agent want more on the signing bonuses. That's really the only thing you can argue as the signing bonus part of the rookie contract because it's all slotted money. It's not like you can negotiate like, hey, I actually want to make more than what the number 10 pick got. It doesn't work that way. But like rookie minicamp, there's no contact. Like you can't run around and get some early coaching started. So I can't really defend that from Shamar Stewart and Demetrius Knight when there's injury waivers available. I just think there's a lot going on in Cincinnati and handling this Hendrickson thing one way or another, either paying him or trading him, which I don't think they want to pay him. I think getting that done sooner rather than later and focusing on a critical season for that franchise is what's best for all involved. What will the Bengals ultimately end up doing with Trey Hendrickson? Type T for trade him or P for pay. I've thought all along that they were going to trade him. I still think that's going to end up being the case. He's 30 years old. They already paid their 2 receivers. And that's going to leave a big hole on their defense, but I think that's the way it's going to end up going. All right, coming up, we will take a look at some teams that could trade for Trey Hendrickson as I do think a lot of teams would view him as a player that could put their team over the top in terms of contention or for a young team to kind of help them stabilize a little bit. So we'll take a look at that. But, guys, we are on the verge. We are 52 subs away from 10,000 subscribers here on 4Verts. Can we get there? We're grinding away here. Daily content here on the channel. We got schedule stuff tomorrow if we get 100 likes on today's show. So help us out. Like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. It's 100% free. All right, we'll kind of rapid fire here, go through 5 teams that make sense. I still think the team that makes the most sense is Washington. The way they've acted this offseason, it's like, we're trying to win now with our star rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Like, that's what they're trying to do. They trade for Deebo Samuel. They trade for Laramie Tunsil. But the one thing they haven't done is added a premier pass rusher, and they let their sack leader walk in Dante Fowler. He had 11 sacks this year. They don't have really a even above average edge rusher right now. It's like Dorrance Armstrong's the best one. It's like, that's not going to get it done. You put Trey Hendrickson in a Dan Quinn defense with an offense, assuming Jaden continues to grow and ascend, and you add Deebo, another weapon, like that could be a pretty dangerous team this year if they're able to get him. They've got the cap room to absorb him this year and to extend him. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, the Chicago Bears don't have as much cap space right now, but they do have the flexibility to move some money around. They could restructure DJ Moore and or Jalen Johnson and or Montez Sweat and or Cole Kmet. There's a couple guys they could still cut if they wanted to. They could also just simply extend Hendrickson, give him a huge signing bonus, and lower his cap hit for this year. They could make it work if they wanted to, just like pretty much every team could. They obviously gave Dio Adengbo starting level edge money, so I don't think the Bears end up going this route. But if they added Hendrickson, I think that turns a solid defensive line with a lot of depth, especially on the interior, to a maybe dominant one if you have Hendrickson, Montez Sweat as your 2 edge starters. Adengbo is like your top rotation guy off the edge and on the interior, along with guys like Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Shamar Turner, a lot of different bodies you can throw at defensive tackle. So, again, don't think it's coming, but that could make that unit good into great. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals, I think, are an intriguing team. I think they're a team to watch this year. Monty Ossenfort, I think, has done a pretty good job of building up this roster. He's added a lot of talent. Jonathan Gannon in year 3, his teams have been scrappy, but they kind of, I don't want to say folded, but, fumbled a little bit down the stretch last year when they were a fringe wild card team. This is a big year for that franchise. Like, they probably are viewing this year with Kyler Murray, in his late 20s now. How is he going to age into his 30s? Like, this is a pivotal year for us, for Kyler, to try and make a playoff push. Well, you had a 15-sack guy in Trey Hendrickson. That helps a lot because their defense still has some holes on it. I think he could really, really help there for Arizona. New England, I don't view quite in the light of, like, this puts them over the top. Not same with Arizona, but I do think it could put Arizona into the playoff conversation. Sure, could the Patriots make the playoffs this year? Yes, but, like, there's still like a multi-year vision here. Their roster is still a ways away, but you got Drake May on a rookie contract. Mike Vrabel, a defensive-minded coach, would love to have a guy like this. They do have some talent on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't really properly replaced Matt Judon's sack production that he was providing for several years there. Hendrickson could provide that. He could also be a veteran on a young roster, and they could overpay. I mean, they could give him $38 million per year, and it really wouldn't be that big of a deal because they have so much cap space this year and moving forward. So if the Patriots want to make a splash and say, hey, let's make a push to kind of, raise the floor of our team, but also bring in a veteran in here that can help these young guys out, I think that makes some sense. Green Bay Packers, the last team I'll mention here. Lucas Van Ness hasn't really worked out as a draft pick from a couple of years ago. I thought they'd go edge earlier in the draft. They didn't really do that. So a guy like Hendrickson would certainly help. The NFC North is very competitive. So if they want to get a guy in there to raise the floor of that defense, I thought their new DC, Jeff Hafley, last year did a pretty good job. But they're not exactly loaded on that side of the ball. Hendrickson instantly becomes one of their best players. You've got this weird Jair Alexander thing going on at corner. Maybe they trade him off and bring Hendrickson in. So that could certainly be something worth considering. Which team should trade for Trey Hendrickson? What say you guys down in the comments section below? If it's a team I didn't mention, shout them out as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If we get 100 or more likes, I'll do kind of a schedule breakdown video tomorrow morning. Probably just go through my 10 favorite games on the schedule. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And let's get to 10,000 subs ASAP. My name is Harrison Graham. We appreciate you supporting 4 Verts. We'll see you soon.